I go to order drinks for them. So he says I'm good. I take it he's not drinking tonight. So I decide to be as hospitable as possible. I order him a water. And the water comes first before the other drinks have come. They give us the water. And I go to hand him the water. And he looks at me perplexed. He didn't want anything. I go, it's water. And I don't think he heard me, so he actually grabs it and smells it to see what I had given him. Because he didn't. I was like, "It's just water. I thought you'd want water because you didn't want anything."
This is giving me stress. This is giving me stress to be in that environment where you have to talk at that level.
Welcome back to Oops the Podcast.
All right, lots to unpack here.
I got something for you.
Please. Julio, I don't know where you came up with that idea.
Dude, this guy was a huge turkey.
What is this, Japan? Which is one of the reasons why I hadn't told you about it.
No, and I also just assumed you were saving it for the pod if you were going to tell me.
Yeah.
Which, of course, you were.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, welcome back to Oops the Podcast. I'm Julio Gallerati, sitting with my pal, Francis Ellis. How you doing, dude?
Yeah, buddy, I'm feeling good.
We have Ryan Lynch. I just said Ryan Lynch. He is not Lion.
No.
As you guys will find out
Fact
later in the
checker.
show, as well as Chris Caso, Media.
Mm-hmm.
The legends themselves. We are here.
Whole squad. I've never introed the whole team, so now I feel like an asshole.
Listen, it's a nice thing.
Yeah.
The seasonal depression is upon us.
What?
Not for me. I actually don't experience seasonal depression.
Not yet. This is
I mean, for us,
this is like the best time of the entire year.
I mean, for the rest of you. No, I mean specifically like the fact that it's cold rained for like 3 straight days.
I don't mind that. I will take that.
I don't
We're
mind
gonna
it
get
either.
some nice crispy days in a second with some, streets that have gas lamps.
Oh yeah.
It was my first time outside today since Sunday.
Wow.
What? You didn't go outside for 2 days?
Until this afternoon, yeah.
How many? You went outside on Sunday at what time?
I probably got home around, let's just say 6.
6 p.m.?
So somewhere around 36 hours.
You were inside from 6 p.m. on Sunday through Monday.
All day yesterday. No
Until
outside.
what time on Tuesday?
At 1 p.m.
Wow,
Damn, dude.
dude, that's not 36 hours. That's more than 36 hours. That's like
impressive.
40, 41, 42 hours.
Almost, yeah.
That's quite an occupation. That's what my friends call it.
How was it?
It was all right. I mean, I was glad to get outside today.
Yeah.
I went to the basement
I
of
can't
my
do it.
building. That's still inside.
I can't do that, bro. Yeah, it doesn't count.
It was raining all day yesterday, and like hard.
Yeah.
So I just
Today
thought
too,
not
bro.
to.
Crazy.
I chilled pretty hard this weekend. It's really nice to chill.
It's nice.
It's really nice to chill. You know what else is nice, dude? Thinking that you have to do something for a weekend coming up and then having that not happen.
That is nice.
Losing a plan.
That's quite nice.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah, especially if it's a plan that you were sort of like on the fence about to begin with.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
I October is my favorite month of the entire year. Truly.
I believe that. I think it might be for me too.
It is my favorite week of the entire year. Sports-wise, you have such incredible sports. You have football in important swing of the season,
Yeah.
Teams are starting to know who they are. You know who you like to watch.
You know who, like, there's only a couple undefeated teams left.
Playoff baseball gets going in a big way. You've got...
When does NBA start?
NBA starts
At
in
the end,
October.
right?
Yeah. Hockey starts.
Wow.
It is the four corners of the professional sports world all meeting at once. And boy, oh boy, I'm excited. Ryan, huge Yankee fan.
Big fan.
Big fan. They're looking to be in a good position, top of the division.
Yeah.
We need Judge to get pitched to, bro. What's going on?
I know. We got, by the time we're recording, just a couple games left of the regular season. He's just sitting at 61 with Roger Maris. I don't know. I'm getting nervous.
We need him to hit one more, right?
One more.
62 is what will matter to people.
62, he'll hold the record
For the
the
AL.
American League.
And for a non-steroided person.
For a non-steroided beast.
Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire both surpassed that twice, and Barry Bonds did twice as well, I believe.
Correct.
Right?
Wow.
Crazy.
So that's talking sports on Oops the Podcast.
Yeah. Dude, so listen to this. So, okay, as you know, one of our Barstool co-workers, Alex Bennett,
AB.
has a pre-existing relationship with Hill Dog
No way.
that I sort of didn't even know about. So they're like they used to intern together at some, I think I forget what magazine, like one of the magazines that like you want to intern for.
Mm-hmm.
And they worked in this kind of like closet kind of thing and bonded. And they're these old pals. And then she had mentioned she had this friend who worked here, but like I kind of never put two and two together. She came and introduced herself. And then we decided we were all going to hang out this weekend. So me, Hill Dog, and then Alex and her husband. And we kind of facilitated the hang. And I got to be honest, it's high stakes to facilitate a hang like that.
High stakes. That can go wrong real quick.
So listen to this. So we actually, we shot from the hip a bit because we had existing plans and we invited them to them.
Wow.
So there were going to be other people here and it was like a party too. And it was like at a place where there was music. So Hillary and I arrive and we walk in and the music's really loud and we both side eye each other and begin to become nervous that we weren't going to be able to properly host these, new friends to a degree.
Yeah.
Even though they're kind of old friends, like, this is a whole thing we're attempting.
Yeah, it's a tryout. You've invited some friends to a tryout.
It's a trial.
And boy, the fucking atmosphere is not welcoming.
It's a trial. So now, then what happens? Okay, so obviously the girls are probably going to catch up and I'm going to get to know her husband. And
you can share his name, by the way. She talks about him frequently on her podcast, Mean Girls, and I am so fascinated to hear about this guy. Graham.
He is a International Guys Day nominee.
You said that. You said that. You texted me that. Those are the first things you said to me about him. And I said, whoa, hold the phone. You're telling me that our old pal, Alexander Graham Bell, hold the phone, is a potential nominee for leader, you said, or something?
I think I said something about the delegation.
You could be, he was like, he could be on the board of International Guys Day. And I was like, all right, first of all, you and I both know we make those decisions together. Okay,
I was nominating.
No unilateral appointments.
Agreed.
The board
for the sake of democracy.
But my God, we are ushering in a first ballot board member.
I know, dude.
International Guys Day.
I know. It's
Graham
crazy.
Bennett.
He easy to talk to, modest, funny, listens, good-looking guy, tall.
Does sound like a good guy.
Not that those things matter, but
no, those things are exactly what matters.
Anything in the win column goes towards your nomination or your candidacy. So anyway, had a good time. But then, so people are the girls are talking, and I'm talking to him, and he's the guy in this situation who doesn't know anyone. He's the only guy. So I'm aware of that, and I want to make sure that I give him as much attention as possible.
Yeah.
And people are starting to tap on my shoulder and trying to tell me shit, and I'm now beginning to have trouble balancing how to continue. My biggest fear is to turn to the right and see Graham sitting there looking at the floor.
Yeah.
I don't want to put him in that position. It's loud. I want to make sure that I'm trying to open up. Anyway, I think it went well. They stayed for a little bit. They're like, we're going to go home or whatever, which who knows what that means actually. That could have meant that they didn't like it.
Oh.
But we were talking about my Iraq video and he's like, that sounds so sick. I'm going to watch it first thing when I get home, which is what anybody says. 2 hours later, we get a text from Alex, screenshot of them watching it.
Wow. Those are good friends.
Keeping it real.
Those friends are for real.
Keeping it real. And, I think we could potentially extend it into a triple date.
It's funny. I'm really eager. I'm excited. I think we come in, Sierra and I, to this a little bit hesitant because all of a sudden it's like, whoa, there's the hot new kids that are, on the block. You're talking big game, Alexander Graham Bell, AGB over here is somehow, I think it should probably be Alexander Graham Bennett.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally works.
By the way, I don't know if he's going to be okay with this. I just have chosen a nickname for a guy I've never met based on a telephone inventor. But with that said, you guys are saying International Guys Day, board member. I know Alex because I sit next to her now at Barstool for the time being. I don't even have a desk here yet. I've just been floating around. But they're so confident, this couple. This couple is very confident.
Yeah, love to see it.
And I like that about them. That's cool.
I like it for them.
I think they could be a group that we could add. We could add to our little
repertoire.
Our coupleship. coupleship that we've had. So,
Coupleship.
You brought up an interesting point though, which this is fascinating to me, and that is, you said, I know the girls are going to catch up. You're at this place and you know other people there.
Mm-hmm.
He is truly the odd man on the totem pole.
He has had to muster energy for this event, potentially.
He doesn't know anybody.
He doesn't know anybody.
Doesn't know you, doesn't know Hillary.
Correct.
Only knows his wife.
He maybe knows Hillary because they have a random. Okay, they've maybe met each, but yes,
He knows
they have a mutual friend from back in the day, from like Oklahoma stuff.
Yeah, he knows the fewest people of anybody probably
By
at
far.
that party.
Yes.
Now, I've been that guy.
Yep.
That's a difficult position.
It's a tough guy.
You have to start every fire yourself.
Yeah.
You have to keep your ball in the air the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
There's never, because conversations only go so far. And guys are worse at them, I think, than girls are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people will give you the basics. They'll give you a couple of tools to work with to make yourself a member of the party, right?
Yeah.
How are you? Where are you from?
What's
what
up?
do you do? Blah, 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 right?
Yep.
But if we don't hit those softball pitches out of the park,
Oh yeah.
we die on the pole.
Yeah. The further avenues do not open up.
Yeah. And no one's going to keep trying because they're there to have a good time. They know they have a good time waiting for them as close by as a shoulder turn.
Yep.
Oh, look, there's my real friend that I can, hey, dude,
Who I have
I
history with.
saw that you were, fishing. Ha!
Oh man.
A classic. You.
Was that thing as big as it looked?
Yeah. And now Alexander Graham Bell is like, I don't know much about fishing. I haven't been invited into this fishing
the fishing
conversation. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I guess I'm on my own. Better pull out my phone. Don't want to make them think I don't have anything to do. Now I'm looking at the ground. I'm looking at my phone.
Right.
And I'm waiting. At that point, I'm waiting for my wife to say, let's go home.
Right.
This has happened to me a lot of times.
It's tough. It's tough.
Because sometimes I'll make one of two mistakes. I will either not get the questions right, or I don't have the energy to like become a new friend of a group of people fast enough, or I might overshoot my landing.
Mm.
And they might be like, hey, what's your name? What do you
guy.
do? And I'll be like, what do I do? Funny you should ask. Blah, 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 blah. And say a bunch of shit.
What do I
And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Did you hear that guy?
Oh
That
my
guy came
God.
on way too strong.
Dude,
Because
really.
I want to be funny.
Yeah, I feel you. And dude, you know what? It's easier to like deal with that when it's not super loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the small talk, bringing other people into, oh, that's funny you say that. Graham is actually
Terrible.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Therefore, da-da-da. But now we're like, yeah, Graham's, you know what I mean? And then I was like, what, you guys want drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, no, I'm okay. He goes, I'm good.
You're having conversations at a level that was typically reserved for the people who used the first model of the phone he invented. What'd you say, Mary?
They don't understand that they don't have to yell the distance with which the
Yeah.
call is taking place.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello! Talking to my grandparents, bro, in Italy. It's as if they're trying to scream across the fucking Atlantic Ocean. Julia! Dude, so I go to order drinks for them, and this is where this miscommunication comes in. So he says I'm good. I take it he's not drinking tonight. So I decide to be as hospitable as possible. I order him a water. And the water comes first before the other drinks have come. They give us the water, and I go to hand him the water. And he looks at me perplexed. He didn't want anything. And I go, it's water. And I don't think he heard me. So he actually grabs it and smells it to see what I had given him. Because he didn't. I was like, it's just water. I thought you'd want water. Because you didn't want anything.
This is giving me stress. This is giving me stress to be in that environment where you have to talk at that level. I hate that. I hate it.
Hillary and Alex have plans tomorrow. So I think that it didn't go terribly.
Wait, you didn't resolve that water situation.
No. He then understood and went, oh. And I think he like appreciated that he'd been
So
given
he
water.
hadn't ordered something.
No, I was ordering for the group.
And he did want water once you gave it to him.
I just figured he would want something. And he could choose to put the water down if he wanted, but I figured it's like he's not opting into anything.
What
by
kind
accepting
of,
it.
let me tell you something. What kind of person turns down a glass of cold water?
That's what I'm saying. He didn't turn it down.
If he did that, I don't know. He makes it onto the board of International Guys Day.
It's certainly a demerit. It would have been a demerit.
Yeah.
You know,
So
possible still.
Sierra and I had a little bit of a quick left turn, a little bit of a snafu in our vow writing.
Interesting.
Where she initially had said we should write them together, so that there's some sort of uniform length and tone. And I was like, okay, what were you thinking? And she said, I've written a couple thoughts down. The first thought I have is that, I was going to say something like asking someone to spend the rest of their life with you is one of the nicest things a person can do for another person. And I said, no, the nicest thing that a person can do for another person is to offer them a cold glass of filtered water unprompted. To offer a cold glass of water unprompted. And she was like, why are you taking this so literally? And then I said, think about it. If someone came up to you at the moment that you start to think, boy, I'm a little thirsty, and just out of nowhere they appeared and handed you a cold, filtered glass of water, and they had chilled the glass.
Yeah.
Like it's a glass of water that's been sitting in the refrigerator waiting for them,
Right,
and they just handed it to you.
Very, very nice.
You would think that's the nicest thing that someone could have done for me in the world.
It certainly is one size fits all solution, as opposed to if I say to you, Francis, I want to spend my whole life with you, you might get a little weirded out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was when we abandoned the whole concept of doing the vows together. But anyway, back to, yes, please continue.
No, I don't. There's not necessarily more to that. I think we lived to tell the tale. I think all in all it went well, but I think we had realized that we had raised the stakes unintentionally at some point.
Yeah, I think the girls being old friends, doing what they're doing now. You said they're going to hang out together. That's usually step one.
And Hill Dog is one of the best catcher-uppers I've potentially ever seen.
Absolutely.
She's really good. She asked a question where I was like, damn, that's good.
Yeah.
Like a catch-up question, because they're from Oklahoma. She was like, so what have your families thought of you are moving to Oklahoma? I was like, damn, that's good.
Damn, that's good.
That's good.
You ever watch someone who's really good at asking questions?
Yeah.
Man, that's an art form.
She's good, dude.
That's where you hear like he's a really good interviewer, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? And then you see it done, and you're like, oh.
I really appreciate Howard Stern more and more as I get older.
Yeah, and the Hot Wings guy.
Oh, he's
Sean
good too.
Evans.
Everyone says he's the best.
He's good.
Because he does so much research to prep for his interviews and asks questions of celebrities who are frequently featured, but often, you're like, well, what more do we have to learn about,
Right. Specific questions about people
this
who are,
guy.
how'd you get into acting?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right. So they're going to hang, but you say, ooh, maybe we should
all
do,
hang.
well, we could also do a little side Boys Day hang
That would be
with
fun.
AGB.
We could.
And the three of us go out for Negronis, do a Negroni tasting. We could do we could go to a place that has multiple different types of Negronis on the menu.
That's
to
fun.
try to break you back.
Yes, this is fun. This
we
is
could
good.
break you back.
This is fun. I need to come back.
And my God, if he then asks for water there, I gotta tell you, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's looking good for AGB. Does
we gotta be sensitive. We don't know if he drinks or not. So I worry about inviting him to an alcohol-centric thing if we don't yet know.
Yeah, Negroni tasting is a pretty alcohol-centric.
That's a pretty alcohol-centric thing.
That's pretty nuanced alcohol.
That's very specific.
Yeah.
So we got to feel it out a little bit more.
You got to
Let's
be
do
a
some
heavy
recon.
drinker to go to a Negroni tasting.
Let's do some
It's not like a
recon.
beer tasting or a wine tasting. It's like, here's one of the most gasoline tasting cocktails you can have. By the way, we're going to try 6 of them.
It's so good, dude.
Yeah.
I love the idea of that. I've heard something about things like that, but the multiple Negroni menu,
Yeah.
that's something I'm
Where have
interested
you
in.
heard certain things about that?
Like during Negroni week.
There's a week?
Recently Negroni week occurred.
Is that right?
I was like in peak post food poisoning Julio mode, so I wasn't able to partake.
September 12th to the 18th.
Yep. I literally got
That's
back
very
September
recent.
10th.
God damn, I can't believe we missed that.
So there's this list of all these people making all these different kinds of Negronis.
Wow.
I know.
Speaking of Negronis, I have a quick story for you.
Please. Love this.
So we are barreling towards the end of our 2-year lease on our COVID deal on our the greatest apartment we've ever had.
Moment of reckoning.
The best apartment we've ever had in our lives. And our owner is the man. He's the absolute man. I love this guy. He's been so cool. Really cool dude. I'm not going to say too much about him, but like basically, you know, I have really grown to like talking to him and kind of building a friendship with him. And we had him over for drinks at our
after
the
we
apartment.
parted ways that afternoon.
We had him over for drinks and sort of weren't sure if he wanted to stay for dinner because he was going on to another thing. But we ended up like ordering food and had dinner and you know, chilled with him for a while. And I asked him right when he walked in, I'm like, you know, here we go. I'm a good cocktail maker. I'm going to like make him a fucking sick drink. We're really going to butter him up, you know, hopefully to the degree that like when our lease runs out, you know, he'll feel like, they're good people. Maybe I should cut him a break or something and they can renew for another year. Not just like trying to take advantage of him. Fundamentally, I do really like the guy. But, you know, this is somebody that
Treat
you
him good.
want to impress, that you want. We wanted him to think, wow, they are using my home, my apartment so well. They've done such a good job with it. Look at how he flips that cocktail around. He knows exactly where the drink mixer is. Those drawers, they've made this a home.
Right.
You know, I like seeing them
Right.
here.
That's good. That you do want that. That's like a
that's sort of what
underappreciated thing.
the impetus was. And I'm like, all right, bud, you know, I can make you, I love making a cocktail. Can I make you a Negroni? Can I make you a spicy mezcal margarita? I'm like listing off my hits. And he goes, he's British, and he was just like, just a martini, actually, it'd be great. And I'm like, are you kidding? That is the one cocktail I have not yet. Like, it's not in my bag yet. It's not in my bag yet. And I've ignored that absence. I've ignored that missing piece in my menu. And for too long, I knew it was going to rear its ugly head. I knew it was going to come to haunt me. And sure enough, in a high stakes, high pressure moment, it bit me in the ass.
Okay,
So I'm like,
but you can make an espresso martini, isn't it? Like
I can, but a martini, dude, there's an
different
art
Yeah, I know.
to a good martini. And he was like, not dirty. I don't want it. Just a hint of lemon. Like he has a taste.
He has a
He knows how he wants
preference.
it. And he's like, extra cold. And I'm like, all right.
You're like, all right.
So I'm like,
dude.
I got you, of course, right? Because I'm thinking we must have the ingredients. I know what goes into a martini. It's a very basic cocktail, but there is an art form to getting it like right, because true martini drinkers know exactly how they want it.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, I get out. Fortunately, I have a martini glass in the freezer.
Love it.
Right?
Ready to
So
go.
I'm like, all right, step one, that's already elevating. Like, because most people they'll take a martini glass, they'll fill it with ice water, let that sit for a bit while they prepare the rest of the cocktail in the shaker, and then they'll pour it in, and that's how they make the glass cold. I was like, I got you one better. The glass itself is already frosted.
Solid. Good
So
start.
I then immediately like Sierra swoops in, starts doing doing her thing, talking. Thank God. I quickly pull up martini recipe on my phone, and it's very simple. It's like vodka and dry vermouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have sweet vermouth because I drink Manhattans, but we do not have dry vermouth. So I'm like, oh no. So I turn to him and I'm like, listen, I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed. I don't even know if I can look you in the eye. In fact, if you want us to just leave now, we still have 3 months left on our lease. But like, I don't have any dry vermouth. He goes, oh, that's okay. Just do vodka over ice, nice and cold. Maybe a bit of a lemon in there as well. And so I like make him this, fucking half-assed vodka. thing, and then I had this big ice cube, and I was like, I want it to cold, so I put that in the fucking martini glass, and it looked stupid as hell. I handed it to him, and I was just like, yeah, man, I get it. Our rent's going up. We're gonna have to leave. And he left that night, and we're kind of figuring it out now. But I think in all likelihood we're probably gonna have to leave. And I can't help but think, if I had made him the best martini of his life, we might not even be paying rent next year. We might be just house sitting.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
It
I know what
sucked.
that feels like.
But now I'm going to really spend some time mastering the martini. Because I think when you have guests, right,
Mm-hmm.
and if you like want to make, like, most people when they go to a bar, if it's a nice bar, not like a sports bar, but they're going for a drink, right? Most people either have like a tequila soda, some lime, vodka soda maybe as your basics.
From a nice place though, like when
you're right, you might order that at a sports bar.
You might order that at a sports bar, but like I'll look at the cocktail menu and see if there's anything that's like really tickling me, and if there isn't, I'll just get like a Negroni.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. If there's if they have a menu and it says like the Flamingo or like the Jerry Garcia, whatever, some random thing, and it's like reposada, blue curacao, a bunch of ingredients you never even creme de menthe.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, oh, it's delicious, not too sweet. And you're like, all right, I'll try it. But I can't. I'm not gonna go into that world.
Yeah.
So my world is, can I make the staples, which are to me martini. Yep. And knowing the variances within that, which can be an extra dirty martini or like a gin martini, whatever. Martini, Negroni, margarita. I would say old fashioned, and then even Manhattan.
And even the espresso martini.
Yeah, maybe espresso martini. And I feel very confident making all of those without consulting even a recipe.
That's a good place to be in.
Except for a martini.
You got to get there.
Yeah.
Dude, my one problem with ordering off of the cocktail menu, if I'm like, how's that? They're like, it's good. Almost all the time, I've talked about this before, it comes in like the girliest possible presentation, which can be a bad look. Like it'll be that little glass that's like, and it's like narrow, but it's like this, and it'll just be like
a coupe.
It'll be like pink.
Yeah.
And it'll have like, is that what it's called? A coupe?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yeah. So that's if there's anybody who I need to like make an impression on, I don't go rogue on the menu.
But you don't always know what glass it's gonna come in.
True. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is somehow I always pick the girly glass without knowing.
I found that gin-based drinks mostly come in those glasses. That's my go-to cocktail. I usually get screwed over with one of those glasses.
You're a gin man.
What kind of gin cocktail you like?
One of the fancy ones that they have. There was this restaurant I used to go to. They had a thing called the Bee's Knees.
Oh yeah.
And it was gin, honey. They throw a flower in there. It's cute.
It's fun.
It's tasty. And I don't care if I look like an idiot.
There must be more.
Quite fun.
Gin, honey. I'm guessing like lime juice, or
some lime,
there's some
or lemon, some sort of citrus, and then I don't know, interchangeable some other flavors. But
cool.
Yeah, they're
Solid.
cute. They're cute.
Cool. Very cute.
They're cute.
Very cute. Chris, you got a favorite cocktail?
I don't know. I've been into tequila cocktails recently.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just love tequila now, so I'm just
buddy.
at this
Attaboy.
point. So
Sip it up.
yeah,
Sip
usually
that
just
shit.
that or just vodka sodas thrown
you're
those
talking.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Throw it back.
Yeah.
Throw 'em back.
Slide on in.
Come
Water's
on
warm.
Yeah.
Water's warm. Man, how much does this make you guys want to drink?
I know.
I want to drink. I want to drink.
There are high noons all over this room too.
Yeah.
Room temperature.
Nooners.
Nooners. Dude, so I went to breakfast alone this morning.
Ooh.
And I intended to go to a workout class, but the fucking studio flooded because of all this rain.
Oof.
So they're like, oh, did you not get the email? I was like, no, I didn't. She's like, well, you have to opt into emails. I'm like, I have opted into emails. And she goes, oh, and then she was able to check and see that I was in fact opted into emails, and that was a very satisfying moment. It was not an oversight on my part at all, and I went in the rain to the Lower East Side to go to this class. But anyway, whatever. All good. So then I just went to breakfast alone, and it was lovely.
Where'd you go?
I went to Two Hands.
Oh yeah, they make it's coffee, but it's Australian.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
You know? I ate a lovely little breakfast, had a coffee,
Nice.
and it was great, dude. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is a nice thing. to
That's
be,
a
like,
treat.
Up, alert, and I suggested to Hilda, we should go to breakfast more together.
That's so funny.
Like during the week, like before her work day and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny you say this because over the weekend it was rainy. Sierra and I woke up at 7:30, 8, whatever it was.
Had you been out the night before?
No.
Would you wake up that early if you had been?
Dude, for you to say early like that to us is like sleeping in.
Normal time. Okay.
And we looked at each other, and Sierra goes, what Julio and Hillary have that we don't is that they can wake up at this time on a weekend and then like mutually agree to just go back to sleep for another 2 hours.
That's so true.
And I was like, my God, that sounds amazing.
That's so true.
Because at that moment, we both knew there in a million years, we could not have possibly found any more sleep. We are awake. The day has begun. All my neuroses have started humming between the ears. I'm like, all right, let's pull up the New York Times. How bad is the stock market doing? Like, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
What's happening in the war in Russia? Blah, 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 blah. Just let's start worrying about shit.
Dude, that's funny. Well, it's funny. Well, I wanted a friend of Brent, who we talked about on the podcast, man who speaks in metaphors. He had a good one today because he's trying to meet up for dinner, and I can't do dinner. I just have like shows all month, like almost every night. So I'm like, dude, I can't. Like, he's like, what about breakfast on Saturday? And I was like, I kind of have a late night Friday. I was like, I'm not sure. Like, what? So we're trying to figure it out. And then he hits me with this quote: He who hoots with the owls at night cannot soar with the eagles by day.
Well, you gotta say it in the voice.
Yeah, sorry. He who hoots with the owls at night cannot soar with the eagles by day.
Oh my God. Is he a fucking Indian chief?
I'm like, bro, where did you come up with that? How did you pull that out of the fucking back pocket?
That is so ridiculous.
Insane, dude.
That is so ridiculous to type and send to somebody.
Insane. I know. It's
I
so
like
funny.
it though. I like it.
He's the man, dude.
Yeah.
Too funny. I find myself going, I go to Hillstone a lot, even though I don't like it.
Ah.
I don't like any of the restaurants in that group. And in fact, I went to like one of their sister restaurants in New Orleans, not knowing what it was. The second I walked in, I knew where I was, realized I didn't like it.
Wow.
And my manager actually is the one who picked it. And he ended I was just complaining. I'm surprised he tolerated the level of complaining that I was issuing. And he's like, dude, I'm sorry that I dragged you here. And I'm like, yeah, I am too. So anyway,
You really don't like
hate
it,
dude. It's
Why?
It's such a toxic clientele, bro. Like the people in there are such pains in the ass.
Yeah.
It's way too formal. It's like, bro, we're in New York City. Nobody acts like this here. Why are we like acting like we're in Dallas right now? We're not. Like enough of this. Enough. Cut the shit, dude.
Wait, hold on.
Cut the shit.
I need clarification on this. What happened to you at a fucking Hillstone? Dude. No, but I'm saying, okay, what you say, we're in New York City. Nobody acts this way. Nobody acts what way?
They make you take your hat off.
Oh.
Fucking dude, there's always somebody making a scene in there, dude. Like the guy who they asked him for his Vax card. You fucking kidding me?
Really?
Are you fucking kidding me? Dad, fuck this. Fuck this. Bro, then this woman, dude, every time there's something.
Dad, no.
Dad,
I want the ribs. It's my birthday. You promised.
Dude, every time I see this woman being difficult, is our table ready? No, miss, we just told you it's not going to be ready for 20 minutes. I know, but I'm asking you for a favor. Bro, dude, every time. There's the worst people on earth in that fucking place, dude.
It does take forever to get seated. I haven't been in a long time.
I just don't like it.
I did go to their one out in East Hampton.
They have one out there?
Grill or something like
That's
that.
a sister restaurant?
It's exactly the same menu.
Ah, interesting.
And I will say,
The menu's good.
The food was good.
Food's good.
Their espresso martini is the best I've ever had.
I'll give you that, dude.
It's the best one I've ever had.
It's a great food and drink. Guys who drink cocktails after work to take the edge off. Crowd, fucking dudes in vests hanging out.
It's a Wall
circle
Street
jerking.
fucking, boys club bullshit. It's like,
Good food, good
cla-
drinks.
It's like a classic American New York steakhouse meets an airport restaurant that is pretty consistent.
Yeah, agreed.
So there's like this weird safety to it. It's definitely not cool.
It feels American too
Yeah.
in this way, like this like guys who work in oil or something vibe.
Yeah.
Regardless, like I just can't handle it. Hill Dog loves the menu, and I'll do it as a token of my love for her. I'll go, and I've decided that like people are gonna hear me talking all this shit and see me in the restaurant and be like, "This guy's capping, dude." Like
Cap.
this guy's cap.
Blue cap emoji.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
this guy's cap. So, bro, I've decided what I'm going to do to mitigate this. I'm going to only go to Hillstone dressed in Afghan tribal attire. So if people see me in there, they're going to be like, all right, this guy's,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
see if they give me shit or whatever. But,
Yeah.
bro, that's the new thing. So next time I go, and forever, I will be wearing Afghan tribal attire.
Are you gonna wear the hat?
They're probably going to make me take it off.
That's what I'm saying.
So, but I'll be curious to see if they make me take it off.
Uh-huh.
Because they'll be afraid that somehow they're like,
You're in the Taliban.
that somehow
Yeah.
like it's being culturally insensitive and I'm gonna like file some kind of like Twitter lawsuit or something. Go viral. I was forced to take off my hat.
Little
that's
do they
what I'm
know
gonna do
you started a school over there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Play that card.
The food is good. Great
Food's good.
menu, good drinks. I just can't handle the fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
Get it together. People who go to Hillstone, stop being dicks.
That's a restaurant that has the upper hand and knows it.
Right.
They've had no problem filling reservations for the better part of, I don't know, fucking 15 years. How old
long.
that restaurant is.
Yeah,
Got a
no
little
idea.
facts with Ryan there.
No idea.
However long that place has been in business, they've never had, as far as I can tell, a quiet night. And so, and they wear it over you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that to your point, that woman is like, "Why is my table not ready?" They'll quote you like it's going to be 45 minutes, and that can go beyond that.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They're not going to apologize. They're like, you know what you signed up for. We are who we are.
Yeah.
You know, if you either want to be here or not, go find some other place.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Always like not an impressive group in there. And I will say this, when we went to the one in New Orleans, we parked like in a place where you can't park. And we're looking at the sign and some guy goes, we turn. He goes, dude, I've worked here on this exact block every single day for like 3 months. I've literally never seen a single person get a ticket. I've never seen a meter made once. He's like, 99% chance you're good. We're like, okay.
Whoa.
I know. I was like, that's
And
very-
were you good?
Yeah, no ticket.
Oh, that's nice.
No, nothing.
That's nice.
Very, very hands-on.
Yeah. That
she
sounds
is.
to me like the type of, if I were in his position, I would lie just to watch the world burn. Like people have often asked me, like, do you
Just
have
to
any
be a
idea if I'm
dick.
allowed to park here? And then I'll be like, absolutely. You're totally fine. I've lived here for 3 months. I've never seen a single car get a ticket.
Little do they know.
Yeah.
They're about to
And
get
then
a
you
bad
wait
one.
until they come back, they have a ticket, and then you're like, I just never, it's the first time. By the way, I have an idea. I think I'm going to do this.
Okay. What? That? Or
No,
something else?
no. There is where we walk Kojai in the morning, there's one person that is just refusing to pick up their dog's shit.
Oh, God. So you find the shit? Or
It's
you see
yeah,
it
and
happen?
I know. I just see the cold shit, and it's a big dog,
It's a big
so
dump.
it's a huge amount.
Gross.
And I mean, once you're like, oh, they must not have had a doggy bag. It's too bad. That's happened to me. If that happens, I then do my best to take a stick and sort of flick it away from public stepping
Pedestrian
areas.
Yeah.
But, you know, this has been now, it's the same spot too, pretty much every day. And it keeps showing up and it'll sit there until it ossifies. And then at some point, maybe some Good Samaritan either picks it up or a park ranger or whatever gets rid of it. This is an area that's a really nice area. And you know, the city of New York, Brooklyn, whatever, has done a really good job to make it a lovely area. And these people, for some reason, leaving your dog shit in that area bothers me more than someone littering.
Oh, interesting.
And I'll tell you
Huh.
why. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because what that tells me is that the person who leaves the dog shit probably lives in the neighborhood,
Right.
which is not a cheap neighborhood to live in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a dog, so they're like presumably an adult, right? And they know better, and they are just willingly
Leaving it.
disgustifying the place that we all live in together. Whereas people who litter, I'm like, well, that probably was just a person that
Random guy, right?
just
This
came
is a repeat
through,
offender.
doesn't give a shit, like whatever. It is what it is.
Well, this guy does literally give a shit.
Yeah,
He donates a shit.
yeah, nice.
Inconveniently.
So this is what I want to do. I want to camp out one day.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's a very
Like Chris Hansen.
dense bush. There's a very dense bush
No fucking.
that I could hide in and wait until I find out who the person is, what they look like, and what time they typically bring their dog to take this shit.
How cold? Like, how long has the shit been there? Like, is this person going really early in the morning? Is it there from last night?
It's cold. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It's certainly not warm by the time I get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to wait and find out when they bring their dog. I want to then follow them home. Right? So to find out where they live. And then what I want to do is the next day I want to take the big shit that the dog has left and then go to their stoop,
wow.
and then use like the sort of device you might use to spread icing on a cake. And I want to spread it all over the
plaster?
step so that there's no way for them to leave their house
Without stepping in
in the shit.
Wow.
And I want to film it all and put it on TikTok because I think people would like that.
Yeah, that's revenge porn.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
That's my game plan.
I don't hate it at all. I really just don't hate it. And the thing too, like big dog that like a human shit, like when dogs that like produce human shit. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes.
It's extra disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's so gross. Even I've looked over after dogs before that have done that, where you take them out for a walk and you have to pick it up, and
Using
the
multiple
sensation,
hands.
the sensation of picking up that amount of shit is really makes you not want to have like children. It's revolting.
It's really disgusting.
And Kojai's shits are like pleasant.
Yeah, they're little.
Just little tiny little balls, like
Cute little
deer
guys.
droppings. They're hard. You grab them and then you throw them away. It's nothing.
He's fed well.
Yeah.
It's good. You guys
How's the
take
little
care.
man doing? We don't get to see
We
him.
I
miss
know,
him, bro. I miss
know.
that fucking guy.
I know that's
So
true because
sad.
we're not recording at my place anymore.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We'll have to get together soon. If we don't stay on living there, I'm sure we'll have like a send off party or something like that. Maybe a Christmas party. That'd be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Christmas is great.
It's really
I
fun.
really like Christmas.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Dude, something funny happened to me over the weekend. My dad called me and we're talking about something else. And he goes, while I have you, and he had this tone in his voice. He was going to ask me something uncomfortable.
Uh-huh.
So he goes, we were watching old VHSs the other
Uh-oh.
day and we put one in and it was like just really hardcore like porn.
Oh my God.
He's like, do you know anything about this? And I at first like my instinct was to like, it was like, should I be embarrassed? And then I'm like, oh dude, I'm like a fucking grown ass man. I'm like, I'm not embarrassed. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I just started laughing. I'm like, that's insane. Like, I don't specifically remember, to be honest, but like, I don't know what to tell you. Throw it out. Like, but I'm remembering I did have a strategy for things like that. This was the policy.
Wait, hold on a second. There was a point in your life where you were like taping onto a VHS cassette, like you were pirating porn with that technology.
No, so hear me out. So I had a thing where I was like, if I have something I'm not supposed to have. So this doesn't apply specifically to whatever they found. I don't even know what the fuck it was. Like it's been a while, but this was my policy. My policy was, if you have a thing that you don't want someone to find, you should put it in a situation where even if they find it, they don't know that they found it. For example, what they thought it was a home video, I must have put a different label over it and put it in a home video box and named it something mundane that no one would ever watch.
Julia's
even if they
first
stumbled
bicycle
upon it.
ride.
Exactly. So that must have been like what I had done there or something.
But your reasoning sounds like the most obvious way to get caught as well.
But no, because okay, like if you have a real porn video, say, and you're a kid, right? And it's the fucking, there's naked chicks on the cover or whatever, and you open the box and it says Naked Chicks Volume 8. If anyone who finds that has caught you.
Uh-huh.
But if you disguise it, they're going to have to watch whatever. They're going to have to want to watch the thing that you've named it.
Yes.
So unless you're in this moment of like extreme nostalgia, which they found themselves in 20 years later, you're never going to find it.
At which point it's not embarrassing.
At that point, it doesn't even matter. So the same thing.
That's amazing.
I used to do the same thing with like videos that I had downloaded once the sort of iMesh Caso era began, where you could download files. I would burn things I wasn't supposed to have onto a CD and put it in an audio CD case. So if anyone ever put the audio CD in a CD player, it wouldn't work.
Right.
Because it would need to go in a computer.
Right.
And then I would even name the file names other things.
Man, you went pretty deep. Kind of sounds like you had a business.
I didn't, but I just was I was horrified at the prospect of,
I wouldn't have known
finding.
how to put Caso files onto a CD.
Yeah, you could burn them as like a data disk.
Huh.
I know.
I wouldn't have even known. Okay, so you're saying that you had a VHS that was always a porn tape. It wasn't something you taped porn onto.
I think there was this guy from the town who I'm not going to air out because he's a professional. He was 18, and I must have been 16. So in theory, if I ever wanted something like that, I would pay him. I would give him the money to go into the store and buy it, and not knowing the actual price. So I was being upcharged inevitably. But he would keep the amount, whatever amount I gave him, he'd keep it.
When you say he's a professional, like, do you mean he's a professional at that?
No, he's like a guy who like
he has a life.
He's paid to like speak at like medical.
Okay, I was gonna say
and
like when you were like, yeah, I'm not gonna air him out because he's a professional. But this is how he does it. I'm like, that's the least professional shit I've ever heard. He's just taking money from kids and then going to his store. That's like saying that I'm a professional beer buyer. Like I work for InBev because I wait outside a 7-Eleven until some needy 15-year-olds need me to buy him a case of beer.
the old hey buddy.
Yeah, exactly. The old hey buddy.
Dude, I used to do those, and eventually it would work.
Same.
And I'm like, who the fuck would do? Like, if somebody asked me to do that, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
I wouldn't do it because of how likely it is that it's a sting operation.
That too.
They have set those up all the time. They
That
use
too.
kids.
My friend got arrested as an undercover cop impersonating a homeless person, dude. He asked a homeless guy to buy him booze and got arrested.
Shut up.
Downtown LA, I swear to God. Crazy.
What a weird job to sign up for as on the police force. You guys need me to cover my face in my own feces and let my clothes rot for the next 6 months? I hear there's a lot of kids buying booze down at the old deli. Sure, John. Have at it, dude.
Good luck, man. I'm paying my dues.
Yeah. You guys, I got to work my way up.
Yeah. So one thing real quick that I have a bone to pick with you, dude.
Uh-oh.
So here's my question. This is more of a general question more than a specific question to you. But what is this new thing where you go to a wedding and they're like, no pictures, whatever. We're going to be taking plenty of pictures. Okay, great. And then the whole night they're taking pictures, and then you just never end up seeing the fucking album.
Yeah.
What is that? Are you intending to do that to us?
Did we do that?
So far, you've done that.
We don't have our pictures yet.
So that's what I was thinking. I was willing to give you more time.
We don't have them.
You're still within the
I think
grace
it takes
period.
8 weeks.
You're within the grace period.
That's what our photographer told us. She's given us like 14, little samples so far that she likes.
Right.
But we haven't seen the 10,000 photos that she's taken.
So what has happened to me, and you're still within the grace period. This isn't a true bone, but this is a pre-bone. This is a pre-bone bone.
A preemptive bone.
The amount of times where I'll just randomly get one picture that I'm in that's great, and I'm like, where are these? And then I never, where are all the rest of them? Where are they? And I've never been able to find them.
Yeah.
And I'd like them.
There will be, fuck's sake. It's like, because now I'm going to raise something that I think is a bad byproduct of this issue.
Okay.
Right? Like, so my answer to you is that we don't have the photos yet.
Right. Fair.
And I think part of the reason that people say don't take pictures is not because they want like some monopoly over the pictures, but rather because they want people focusing and being present and like, you know, not having phones up while the girls are
100%.
going ladies walking down the aisle. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe there are people, wedding couples, that say we don't want the secret of our wedding getting out before we've had the chance to present it our way.
That's totally fine.
But that's pathetic.
Why? No. You're allowed to curate an album.
Fine.
And where, you know,
but
there's
like,
an angle of me where I look fat, like, and you're not going to include it because you know maybe I won't like the way I look.
But is that why they're doing that?
I don't know. I just know that I ain't seen shit, bro, from these weddings.
Yeah, I know.
I ain't seen shit.
But we never told people don't take pictures. We never said that. Did we say that?
I believe it. So no, it's completely acceptable at this wedding ceremony itself to say that.
Yeah, just
You
the
should,
ceremony.
But because, you know, there will be pictures, but also they're not that's yours. That's for you, not for us.
Did we say that though?
You may have said it at the actual
Luke, you
ceremony.
know who said it was our
Had he gone rogue? Are they gonna clip his wings, take him out of the sky?
I think Sierra might have said to tell him to say that, our officiant, which was like, please don't, you know, take your phones out. We have great pictures being taken. And if she did that, it was, I guarantee you, it's because she wants people just to watch and be
listen,
present.
Dude, 100%. And it's good. It's true. If I know there's pictures being taken by a professional, guess what? My phone's not coming out of my pocket.
Right.
Unless Chris is around.
We took a lot of pictures with our photographer.
Yeah.
But as I said, so those are not out yet. But then listen, hear me on this. So hear me on this. Something that bothers me a lot about weddings, and you're gonna hate this.
Okay, here we go.
I don't like when wedding people who have gotten married continue to post wedding photos. Like they post them when they get them,
and then they
which
keep
is usually like
rolling them
8
out.
weeks after their wedding. At which point we've already seen a bunch because they're gonna have a few from the day, whatever. Then they post a bunch, a huge thing, and then they post them on their 1 year anniversary, and then they post them like 6 months, and it's like, yo, at some point,
profile pic,
stop posting photos from your wedding. It's just boring. I don't know what else to say. You look beautiful. I liked it the first time. I get it. I've already seen the dress. I'm not surprised by this shit anymore. Like, you know, you don't look that way anymore. Like, come on, let's move on. Don't stop living in the past.
I'm fine with that take. I mean, like
to me, it's like me if I won a fucking state championship in high school.
You're still posting it.
And I'm like, well, 10 years ago today, we won the state championship. Here I am hoisting the fucking thing.
I'll never
It's
forget
like, yo,
that day.
You were 18, bro. Move on.
I wasn't afraid to take that shot, and I've remained unafraid
Yeah.
to take the shots in life.
Look at me and my boys. It's like, bro, you need to find more to your life to define it at this age.
Francis is giving a very good lesson in a very mean way.
Sure am.
It's a good lesson though. You should always aspire to create new memories in your life.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'll just be living in the past.
I also care more. I also care more about what is happening in someone's life today, which is part of the reason. That's the entire conceit behind this whole new app that everyone's on. Be real.
Keeping it real.
It is.
Chris is
show
a big
us
be-realer.
right now what's up with you. Don't keep giving us these airbrushed, perfect, cropped photos from your wedding, which was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Like,
fair,
you know,
fair. This is me now, bro.
Yeah. And let me add another bone. This is I'm
More
throwing
bones.
I'm
Bones.
throwing a bone. I'm giving an olive
Okay.
branch because those very same people that will plaster my Instagram feed because Instagram doesn't know that I don't want to see this, so I have to mute them. Will plaster my Instagram feed with their wedding photos as soon as they have a child.
Yeah.
It turns to that.
Yes.
Now, I will say this. I don't mind the sweaty, just had a baby. There she is resting. You know, husband was there over my shoulder the whole way. We're so happy to welcome little baby Grace, Amanda,
William.
something to the world. Yeah.
William.
Excellent. All good. And then they will continue to post photos of their children as they are growing up. I'm fine with this. If you were to continue to post photos of your baby from the first day of its life, I'd be like, I know that baby is fucking older. I know it's gotten older. Stop posting. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me
yeah.
is the same as the wedding thing for some
Interesting.
reason.
Fair. Oh, yeah, I hear you.
I'm happy to see first day of school. Oh, so and so just played his first basketball game. Look at how big Max is getting. Like awesome. Fuck yeah. I love kids. He's growing up. Very cool.
Yeah.
But if you were just like, 7 years ago today, he was 1.5 years old.
Yeah, right.
You're like, yo, what are you doing? And that's to me what the wedding situation is.
Okay, it's fine.
Hot take.
Mix it up.
Hot take.
Throw in a TBT every once in a while, but let's get some current shit going too.
Yeah, keep it current.
All right, we want to do some emails here. Guys, send your emails to us. We love talking to you. We love hearing about all your shit.
Where can they send those emails?
oopsthepodcast@gmail.com. We prefer that over the DM. It's easier to keep it organized and find them.
Sure is.
And even if we don't read it on the air, we will reply and we'll be thoughtful about it, as we have been for the entirety of the existence of Oops Podcast. So we have a couple good ones here, and this one in particular we're going to start with. And if we have more time, we'll do another one. But okay, so we've talked a couple times about the idea that sometimes your girlfriend or wife or partner or whatever won't speak loud enough or won't speak in your direction or whatever, and thus after you ask a couple times, you just pretend you heard what she said and move on with your life.
Yeah.
So we've discussed this. So this is a funny solution. Pretending to be partially deaf. Oops Squad, listen to your recent episode discussing our significant other's inability to communicate at a reasonable volume. I have now been with my girlfriend for over 3 years, and sometimes she would say things to me facing the opposite direction and or at an inadequate volume. When I initially coached her on this, she temporarily would improve, but eventually go back to her old ways and became frustrated when I politely asked her to repeat herself. After a few more incidents of miscommunication, I told her that I am partially deaf or going deaf in my right ear, so sometimes it's challenging for me to hear her. Since then, she's made an excellent effort to project towards me, apologizes when I say I can't hear her, and doesn't become frustrated when I ask her to repeat. I'm in no way, shape, or form going deaf. I have excellent hearing and would consider myself to be a novice audiophile. Am I mad or a genius for keeping up this ruse? I don't personally feel bad about it because it's making everyone a better person by catering to my imaginary disability. I also have 2 children who are also picking up on it. Like, speak up, Daddy can't hear well in his one ear.
That's Dad's bad ear.
That's good. Oh, and also, we got to read these for the boys. Chris is killing it, and I love the laugh. Facts with Ryan is incredible. The cereal discussion and the iceberg tip discussion have become my 2 favorite moments of the year so far. Thank you for sharing. That's good stuff.
Wow, that's good stuff. We like that a lot.
We love to hear
That's
it.
really good. Yeah, no, I think there's nothing wrong with a little white lie that improves your relationship. If you're willing to, fall on a theoretical disability,
Yeah.
which
It's the equivalent of saying Santa's not coming this year if you're not good, honestly, for the kids at least.
yeah.
No worse than that.
I have no problem. With that. I'm trying to think of other ailments that you could cite as a way of improving a problem in your relationship.
That's a good one. But to add to that, though, if the day ever comes where they're like, all right, so what's the deal? Are you deaf or what? You can say that you had compacted earwax and that you went to the doctor and he was able to drain it and you can now hear
Have
it.
you ever had your ears properly picked?
I've had them properly flushed out. It is the coolest thing in the world, especially when they show you after.
Oh, I don't know.
If you're into that, if you're an extractor, this is the exercise for you.
I don't know. But I would like to, I'm sure, because I've never done it.
It's amazing.
I'm sure my ears I can't hear anything right now.
There was a time where I actually was afraid that I was going deaf, and it turned out that I just needed to be flushed.
So
And it's not like I was gross. I was tending to my ears. It was just a deep down.
you need to go see an ear, nose, throat person?
Just a regular doctor was able to do it.
Wow.
They shoot a bunch of water in your ear, like with this little fucking whatever, like hydraulic thing, and it sucks it all out. It's a gross way to end the episode, but
Wow. Okay. All right. All that's good to know. By the way, speaking of doctors, really quick, I had a very important doctor's appointment that I've been putting off for a long time.
what's it about?
It's about my cholesterol,
Yeah,
my statin,
yeah.
my whole sticky
Hereditary
lipidae
thing,
profile bullshit. And I finally said, as a wedding present to Sierra, that I was going to go get my my blood work done and get that sorted. And I went and did it, except I then had the labs, and they said, yeah, this kind of does look like you need to consider going on a statin, and you should see a cardio specialist. And they referred me to one, and I booked an appointment, and that appointment was supposed to be in like a week or two, and they just called me like 2 days ago and said that the doctor is on his own medical leave and is going to be out for the next 3 weeks.
Shit.
And that once he comes back, they've had to rebook all of the appointments he missed starting in September.
Oh my God.
So he now can't see me until January.
Oh my God, dude. That's so annoying. Why is that shit so much more complicated in New York City for some reason? When theoretically you can walk to the doctor, still somehow this shit happens all the time.
I'm sure it's the same reason that we can't go to like the top restaurants. It's because like everyone knows, the best guy.
Too many people, yeah.
The best guy. And it's like, I'm sure I am seeing one of the best guys. And that there's a guy who's this fourth best guy who could fix me up real good. Yeah. But I don't want to see him because my friend said this guy's the best,
guy, yeah. Damn,
like,
bro.
There's a fourth best restaurant in the neighborhood on every block in New York City, and nobody wants to go there.
Yeah.
But you could walk in on Saturday night and have no problem sitting down.
Dude, true. Fuck, man. And apparently the cat's out of the bag, too, about like getting the early reservation at the good places.
What, the 5 p.m.?
I've been reading that like the 5 and 6 p.m. reservations are starting to go because people are catching on. They're saying 6 is the new 8:30, dude.
Wow.
That's what my pop said on the phone.
Really?
Yeah, he said 6 p.m.
Dude. Yeah, we're gonna
I like a 6 p.m. reservation.
I do too. Speaking of which, we're gonna have to do a big celebratory meal with the boys.
Yes, we will.
Soon.
That's happening.
At a really sick spot.
Someplace sick.
And you guys should be excited
for this moment.
The boys being at the boys being at the stool, baby.
Bar stool.
Good shot.
We appreciate you, Barstool. Appreciate all of our sponsors. Never
listeners,
said that before.
Everybody, we have it.
That's Hoops the Podcast. Facts with Ryan. Facts with Ryan. Were they lying?
Sorry, you can continue the song. I apologize for cutting you off.
That's okay.
Ryan dropped something, and it was as if he did it intentionally.
I didn't do it intentionally.
He was like, listen,
no.
Here.
That was bad timing.
He's denying. Facts with Ryan.
I dropped my water. All right, so the average size of a corporate board is 11.2 people, directors.
Humans?
Yeah, humans. So we'll round it down to 11 because that's not possible. Okay. Hillstone Restaurant Group first opened their doors in 1977 at a restaurant in Nashville called Houston's.
Yes, that was where we went.
The cake tool that Francis is going to use for his Jeffrey Dahmer energy revenge pursuit is known by a variety of names, including dough scraper, dough cutter, dough knife, pastry cutter, bench scraper, board scraper, and bench knife. And lastly, both Alexander Graham Bell's mother and wife were hearing impaired.
Wow. That is very good, Ryan.
Were they, or did their husbands just speak very quietly? Full circle. Full circle.
That's it.
All right. That's it, guys. It was the podcast. G, you got anything fun coming up?
Yeah, tomorrow night, West Jordan, Utah. Wise guys, come see me Friday, Saturday night. I'd love to see you there.